This is really a follow-up to the last meeting. We heard last week at the meeting in Iroquois.
Your name?
Oh, Carol Riche, Morrisburg. We heard last week at the meeting in Iroquois that there was to be a meeting at the Carman house the following day to discuss what work was to be done in the tenant's apartment and/or to address the rumor of another pending eviction. It appears from press reports that a tentative plan was arrived at, although no details were made known to the public. The fiasco continues. Another delay, another plan, another return to the council table to determine how and when things will go forward.
Question?
Okay, I'm getting there very quickly, Eric.
Okay, no.
Just bear with me. This is important.
Noted.
If the Ontario Building Code wasn't dealt with at the onset of this issue, why has it become so almighty important now? My question to Councillor Mallon and Mayor Delagarde is, you've been juggling this issue for almost 2 years and have not been able to come to an acceptable conclusion. What makes you think that in the final weeks of a lame duck council, you will finally be able to get the job done without handing the new council an awful mess that should never have happened to begin with?
Councillor Mellon, Archie, and then Yvonne.
Thank you for the question. Yes, you're right. We're going to hand the next council a mess. You're absolutely right. And I've said that at the council table, and it disgusted me, the fact that we couldn't get this done. We should have been able to handle this, and we didn't. I don't know how else to say it. It's going to go on to the next council. Hopefully tomorrow night at the council meeting, we have come up with a plan, I guess SCAF has, that it will hopefully bridge the gap between this council and the next council. The lame duck, we might as well call it a dead duck, because that's about what we are. But we're working on trying to do it. You're right, it's gone on way too long. And with the building code, it's as frustrating for us as it's probably frustrating for anybody that's in the industry or Ellie at the Carman house. But we're working with that. It overrides council's authority for us to try and override the building official. It's hard to get your head around that fact, but he is an officer of the province upholding the Ontario Building Code, and he can they do what they need to do according to the building code. And we as council have quite often questioned that, have to do it, but it's the way it is. We're working with it. Hopefully tomorrow night there will be a solution, and the next term of council will have something to deal with that's not going to be pleasant, but will be done.
First, I just want to point out that I've not been in discussions for the last 20 months on this issue, mainly due to the fact that I am related to the tenant that lives there, so I was not involved in any of that part of the issue. I only became involved whenever it became just the opportunity to spend money, which surfaced only a month or so ago, with the spending of the $35,000 that the 4 members of council had permitted. And dealing with the code issues, all of a sudden there is a lot more to be done that was not identified in the report that was originally received. So this issue has been going on for decades. There's no lease. There never has been a lease with the tenant, and I think going forward there needs to be something in place so that none of these issues fall through the cracks and nothing gets done to the building, or no repairs or maintenance happen. The 2 members of staff met with the tenant and her agent on Friday, and they are bringing forward a report on for our council meeting tomorrow night with an alternative solution that will permit her to stay there until the time comes whenever building code issues will be addressed, which will be a decision by the next council, because there is significant dollars that have to be approved, and you know.
Time, thank you.